Hey everyone, it's Jeannie with Talk to Me Tuesday. It is Wednesday, August the 22nd. I hope everyone's had a wonderful week and a wonderfully crafty week. So everything's been going pretty good. It's kind of been a little chaotic, but I feel like everybody's been dealing with a little chaos this summer. Um, so one thing that happened, we had a huge tree fall in our backyard, and it completely demolished our shed and lawnmower and yard tools, and just it just really made a big old mess. And so we've been working with the insurance trying to get everything replaced. We have gotten most of it replaced, all of it cleaned up. But we are on the other end of it now, just kind of fine tuning, replacing the items, dealing with insurance, that sort of thing. But it was it was just a big old mess. I guess the only sewing that I've done is me and my daughter sit down. My granddaughter's birthday was this month, and my daughter wanted to get her some Elvis bows, and we couldn't find any. So I just took some of my Elvis fabric, and me and her sit down and we made up bows and scrunchies. But while we were there, we went ahead and just done a whole bunch of novelty, like the Mandalorian, some princess ones, some unicorn ones. But I pretty much made the scrunchies, and my daughter made most of the bows. We did a couple of practice runs, and then we just started making them. It's really the first day I've done any major sewing since I've had surgery. Actually, a few weeks before I had surgery. So I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was like, man, I hadn't sit at the sewing machine all day like that in a while. So I do plan on getting back to my designing and sewing, but right now, what my main focus has been on is I've been working on the resin. I think y'all might remember me saying that for Mother's Day and for my birthday, everybody went together and got me a bunch of stuff for resin. And so I've kind of been playing around with that. And so let me just show y'all a few things that I've done. I've been making chess pieces, which are just so cute. I haven't quite got, I'm new at this, so working out the bubbles and things like that has been somewhat of a challenge for me, knowing exactly how to figure out to get all the little bubbles out. Most of these turned out pretty good. I'd have a few flaws on a couple of them, but these little ridges right here are real easy to get a bubble to settle in them. But this one had just a little bitty one. I can feel it right there. But for the most part, they're usable. So I think I had shared some pictures of these bowls. But my skull's upside down. There you go. Now you can see them. These have been quite popular amongst my family. So I've made, I don't know, probably 15 to 20 of them. Let me show you another color. So this is one of the other ones that I've done. When I saw these jars, and it's just a plain old, well, it's a resin jar, and when I saw this particular mold, all I could think about was the little jars you use in Zelda to get your potions. So I made the jars up, but then I turned around and put different color resin in them to duplicate the, and they are kind of at an angle, and I did that on purpose because, I don't know, that's just the way I remember it in the game, is how they're kind of put in there a little crooked. But I duplicated the Zelda potion jars. I am working on one now for Navi, for the fairy, not Navi, but the fairies. But that's going to take a little bit more creativity on my side, and I'm wanting it done right. I've already gotten the jar made, but I'm trying to get my fairy in the bottle just right. So, working on that. And another thing that I've been doing is my retractable lanyards. This right here, I'm using, actually these are molds for the back of a phone. You know, the little pop-ups that you use for the back of the phone. I'm using them, and I put the little CIT logo in there, and I've put resin on top. Y'all know that my supernatural patterns are being released right now for this month, and I think they're almost all released except just a couple, maybe the alphabet. So I'm really pleased about that. I guess the last thing I would like to talk to y'all about is my health update. I am recovering quite well. It's been a long recovery, because as far as the surgery goes, we're good. Everything, as far as the surgery goes, I have healed from. Now, I was having a lot of internal swelling going on before surgery, and that was one of the main issues that was causing my problems. There was other things that was also causing me problems, but the swelling is trying to return. I've already been to the doctor several times since then because the swelling is slowly trying to return, and so I'm still feeling some aching from that. But as far as my nose, everything from there, it's doing well. I can currently smell and taste, and I'm going to tell you, the clarity is something that I haven't experienced in several years. But the problem is, if the swelling continues on the path that it's going, I'm going to be right back to not being able to smell. So I go back mid of next month, and he had put me on a pretty strong dose of medication here a couple of weeks ago. It's technically, I've stopped taking it, but it's technically still in my system. So by the time I make it back to the doctor, we should know whether or not the if the swelling is going to continue, or if it was just, that if it just needed a boost, or if it's going to continue. But I'm still having a little bit of aching right around in here and up here. And for the most part, it's just a slight ache, continuous like ache. But every now and then I'll get like a shoot of pain, like a really big pain. But for the most part, I feel like I'm at probably 80% better than what I was before surgery. I honestly don't know why I didn't address it sooner, because breathing, it is just a night and day kind of situation. But there is still a little bit of fine tuning that I feel like me and my doctor have to go through, and he's been great. He has been absolutely great. So anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.